and Denny Hovengay, a couple of folks that in their own way are Kossuth County Racing Hall of Fame inductees. Spent so many years either entertaining us or making sure we were able to entertain everybody. We appreciate their families being here. I believe we have Outlaw Mini Mods. We have one heat of those. It'll be 6 laps. Troy Erke out of Sheffield, the 47 on the inside of the first row. On the outside will be Ben Krause from Kanawha in the 9. Row number 2 will be Kyle Wallen out of Northwood in the 29K. And on the outside will be Mitchell Wallen, also from Northwood in the 29M. Dalton Faber out of Burt, the 17, is on the inside of row number 3. And outside of Dalton will be Justin Senni from Northwood in the 29J. 6 laps of scheduled distance. Mini mods added to the fair race program as their night was rained out earlier in the season here. So one of our 5 rainouts we've had. Also want to add, I didn't say this earlier, but we mentioned how Chuck Simpson knows how to make the popcorn still, and that was one of his things in the Speedway in addition to so much more. Chuck Simpson bought the first 300 bags of popcorn here tonight. We are grateful for Chuck's support here and a way for Chuck and the family to give back as... Yeah, how about a round of applause for that? That was absolutely outstanding on Chuck's behalf as your Outlaw Mini Mods formed up, nose to tail. Green flag in the front straightaway, going to go for 6. So the 29K pulling off quickly. That was Kyle Wallen, and his heat race is done. Ben Krause and Dalton Faber at the head of the pack here on lap number 1. Looks like that's how they're going to cross the line here, the first circuit around the Speedway. In the 3rd spot is the 29M. That is Mitchell Wallen. And the 29J of Justin Senni, your final competitor here on the Speedway, your Outlaw Mini Mod. Heat race here tonight. The top 2 breaking away from everybody else here tonight. Ben Krause, the leader. Dalton Faber from just up the road in Burt, Iowa, the top 2. Then Mitchell Wallen in that 3rd spot, as we said, and Justin Senni, the final runner here on the track right now. Making our way to nearly the end of this one. Tip of the green, signifying a couple laps to go in your Outlaw Mini Mod. Heat race here tonight. Ben Krause, Dalton Faber. The class of the field here so far, they lead by a straightaway, or maybe even a little better there for Ben Krause. Here on a turn number 4, white flag. We got 1 to go. Checkered flag on the front straightaway. It'll be Ben Krause and Dalton Faber, 1st and 2nd. And the 29M of Kyle Wallen completing the top 3. Ready for your IMCA Hobby Stock Heat Race number 1, brought to you by Algona Plumbing. It'll be Dan Hanselman from Algona, the 98 on the inside of row 1. On the outside, Chris Krug from Emmitsburg in the 91. Brett Dagey out of Buffalo Center, the 10X on the inside of the 2nd row. And alongside, it is Daniel Smith from Lake City, the 88. General Michael Lavrens from Burt in the 01 is on the inside of the 3rd row. And on the outside from Algona, the 27X of James Burns. Parker Larson making the pullover from Dolliver, Iowa, with 18L. Squares off on the inside of the 4th row. And flanking him will be Jay Seidels from Emmitsburg in the 28. Josh Seidels from Emmitsburg, the 99X, will be your final starter. Grateful to have Bill Cook, Al Hana, Chuck Simpson, and Rob Hughes here with us here tonight. And, of course, you want to check out the Kossuth County Ag and Motorsports Museum and the Iowa Hall of Fame and Racing Museum. They are open every Saturday and Sunday until just after Christmas, 1 to 4 p.m. It features also the Ben Scooter train station. And if you come during the fair, extended hours and admission is only a free will donation if you choose on the way in. I believe Pharmacist Mutual was the sponsor at the museum here today. Green in the front straightaway and run away. Hang on, General Micah. As he got sideways, shut her down in turn number 1. We stay under green. We'll see if Micah is able to get refired as Hanselman and Chris Krug are side by side. Micah under power, and I guess we will bring out the yellow flag in turn number 1. So caution flag out. That'll be scored against General Micah. Got a lap in, Chris Krug will be the leader back to green. Well, I believe General Micah is going to leave the speedway, I believe. So 1 and done in the heats. If you bring out a solo yellow, you'll be asked to retire to the speedway. Henceforth, the reason that General Micah was asked to leave. Did get 1 lap scored. It'll be Chris Krug, Dan Hanselman, first and second. Back to the restart and working on getting everybody in their proper positions. Daggy was scored 3rd at the line. When we completed that lap, looks like we're going to go green the next time on a turn number 4. How old are you? You're 4 years old. What age are you going to get a race car?
4.
At 4? Okay. So you're already, what are you going to get? Are you getting a Sport Compact, maybe an Outlaw Mini Mod, a Cruiser? What do you think you want?
A Cruiser.
A Cruiser? Why a Cruiser?
Because
Not even you don't even want a late model or anything? You want to go right to Cruisers?
yeah.
Do you know who you're going to drive the Cruiser with?
Yes.
Who's that?
Harrison.
Harrison. You and Harrison are going to run a Cruiser. Cool. We look forward to having you back. 4 years old, knows what he wants to do. I love it. Chris Krug to the back straightaway. You notice he didn't say he wants to be a track announcer. I mean, we can start working him in here real quick. Krug out in front. Hanselman second. Here to complete lap number 2, Krug, Hanselman, Daggy, Daniel Smith, the top 4. It is a draw-redraw show. Every driver drew for their starting position for their heat race. All cars here tonight in their respective divisions will make the A main. And the top 5 out of each of your hobby stock heat races. Look out as Daggy spinning in turn number 4, and a couple of drivers suffering calamity along with him. James Burns, one of them, because I think Burnsy might have launched right over the top of a front bumper or something laying down there, as Daggy was the first one to get sideways, and there wasn't a whole lot of racing real estate down there. So, young man, what did you say your name was?
Cash.
Cash. I thought you said Dash earlier. What's your last name, Cash?
Joe Gilgis.
Dilgis? All right. 4 years old. He's ready to race cruisers. We check the replay here on IMCA TV. Daniel Smith, it was his bumper, and Josh Seidels was the one that actually went over that bumper. You see, it struck Parker Larson, and boy, Josh Seidels had nowhere to go. Burnsy, all kinds of tore up as well. That was James, the one that's missing all his body parts? That was James Burns. He got kind of tore up in there too, didn't he? Did you see the blue car, the 99X car, kind of launched over that bumper? Yeah, that wasn't cool, was it? Fun to watch, not good to experience if you're a driver. There is Josh Seidels, and of course he was celebrating the Navy Seabees as one of our Salute to Veteran drivers here last week. And of course we got big week coming up next week. Harris Clash on Tuesday at the Boone Speedway. Spencer is Salute to Vets on Wednesday. Thursday, we're back here for the Gene Schottson Memorial. Big money up for grabs in your modifieds and stock cars. All classes running that night. And then 2 nights at the Hancock County Speedway for the night of 1,000 stars. Back under the green flag. Not yet to the halfway mark here at Hobby Stock Heat Race number 1. Chris Krug, Dan Hansman on the back straightaway. Daniel Smith in third. Just the bumper cover kind of flapping in the breeze. He's already lost the rear bumper there on Daniel Smith's car as we come by here with 4 in and 4 to go. Parker Larson involved in that early jingle, and the 18L on the back straightaway was having a notion there to try and flex a little bit of muscle. And Dan Hanselman, more than keeping your race leader honest here out of turn number 4. I think Josh Seidels took a couple laps in the 99X just to make sure everything was still attached where it needed to be. He's picked up a spot on the back straightaway, and Dan Hanselman a past fair race champion here at the Speedway. It's a tip of the green and 2 to go. Krug trying to keep Hanselman behind him, and Josh Seidels trying to improve his redraw opportunity in the late stages of IMCA Hobby Stock Heat Race number 1. And Seidels all the way alongside that time of Daniel Smith. Out of turn before, Hanselman continues to work on the race leader, and Seidels a little bit of run here to the back straightaway. Let's see if the Salute to Veterans Navy Seabees tribute can gain one more position. Checkers on the front straightaway. It'll be Krug, Hanselman, and Seidels, the top 3. Daniel Smith will finish 4th. What, so much excitement you can't stand it? That's what I thought too. Heat race number 2, Brandon Nielsen from Spencer the Teen in the inside of the first row. Grant Hoagland from Wesley, the 11, will start second. Row number 2 is Jade Lang from Humboldt, the 43 on the outside, the T1M of Tim Seidels out of Emmitsburg. Next row will be row number 3, Nash Palmer out of Renwick. In the 17, alongside will be Doug Wickman from Algona, the 248. Topless Joe Dorn out of Peyton in the 21X on the inside of the 4th row. And outside it's Aaron Rudolph from Scranton, the 38R. Can you make those race car noises for me again? Remember how you were making race car noises there just a moment ago? You guess? You want to do that on the microphone or no? No, not going to give any race car noises here tonight. He's moving right to being a cruiser driver. He ain't got time to be playing around no microphone. Buy Cash a helmet. Let's just get him going. I mean, Ryan Simpson's 12, so, I mean, I would think by the time you're at least 8, you'd be ready. A couple extra pillows and maybe a quilt behind you, you'll be ready to go. Green flag in the front straightaway. Brandon Nielsen, hang on, and we've got some chaos. So a complete restart here on the, due to the skirmish here in the front straightaway. Doug Wickman has already made his way back to the speedway. Nash Palmer, Aaron Rudolph, and Joe Doran all involved on the front stretch. You better go find a race car. Good talking to you, Cash. See you later. We'll check the replay here on IMCA TV. So here is the initial start coming out of turn number 4 for those of you tuning in at home. And oh, I see. That started on row number 1. Tim Seidels, unfortunately, all kinds of crossed up, and that pretty well blocked the road for everybody behind. Palmer, Rudolph, Doran, Wickman all had nowhere to go. So a tough start. So Joe Doran, great run during Salute to Veterans. He's going to leave the speedway. Looks like Aaron Rudolph's going to leave the speedway. We called for a complete restart, meaning that everybody that was involved would get an opportunity to restart if they were able. Great crowd here at the fair tonight. Just so glad to have each and every one of you here. We got great racing coming up next week. The Gene Schott Center Memorial, all part of IMCA Speed Week. Invite you to come back. Be sure to check out the Ag and Motorsports Museum and the Iowa Hall of Fame and Racing Museum, the new addition here on the fairgrounds. Plenty of great action. What do we have tomorrow? We have the Derby here during the fair and bus races. Derby and the bus races will be here at the Speedway. Come out and enjoy the fair on a Friday. Saturday is tractor pull, right? I think maybe. I apologize. I didn't grab a fair program, unfortunately. This may surprise you, but I was asked earlier, what's your favorite thing to eat at the fair? And I said, well, I haven't been to the fair yet, but everything sounds good to me. Bacon cheeseburger, that is the special down in our concession stand here tonight. Brandon Nielsen to the back straightaway, your early leader. Jade Lang, Tim Seidels. So I didn't have the 23M in my lineup earlier. I found him. There he is. That was my fault. Connor Mikesel from Scandia, Kansas, the 23M racing with us here today. Driver out of Kansas. We appreciate that very much. Sorry about that. That was my fault. I was looking at something else, and then I didn't bother to try and see if there was an update to my race pass. They were a little late getting here, I believe. So sorry about that. Good to have Connor Mikesel with us here today. But out in front, Brandon Nielsen, never give him an excuse to start up front as he has legged it out over Jade Lang and Lang with a sizable margin over Tim Seidels and Mikesel here on the back straightaway. It'll be 3 laps remaining in this one. 3 to go as they roar by this time. the Gary Harkin and Denny Hovengame Memorial here at the Kossuth County Speedway. One fair race night this year in 2025. Obviously here on a Thursday, celebrated our 2025 inductees in the Kossuth County Racing Hall of Fame. And we have settled in single file here over the late stages as Brandon Nielsen still carrying the Salute to Veteran colors from a year ago. Brandon Nielsen with one lap to go. Brandon Nielsen picking him up and laying him down here tonight. Checkers on the front straightaway will absolutely take care of business here today. And he will cross the line. Winning Hobby Stock Heat Race number 2, Jade Lang second. Then Mike Sill and Tim Seidels, rest of the running order. American-made limited late models will make their appearance here on the